recording. Okay, everybody.
Welcome to Sci-Frantic with me, Mike, and this guy over here.
The dumbass. Who didn't record Mike's audio. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm the Wallman, and this is our third attempt at podcasting now. We got Mike and me, and we're gonna do what, Mike?
Welcome to Sci-Frantic. We're gonna do the top 5 science fiction films of all time, our personal favorites.
Top 5 sci-fi movies of all time. Again. Okay, so my first, I believe, was Predator. If I remember correctly, yes, Predator. So obviously everybody knows Predator. Yeah, get to the genre, thanks. Everybody obviously knows Predator. The franchise has been around a long time, but I went with the original because it's so 80s goodness. You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime, and we're talking macho movie 80s. You got Jesse the Body Ventura. You've got Carl Weathers. They're all jacked up and machine guns. And it's like I was trying to tell Mike earlier, you wouldn't even know it's a sci-fi movie. Especially at the beginning, if they hadn't like revealed with a little spaceship launching the Predator down to Earth. You wouldn't even know it's about an alien until the reveal at the very end of the movie.
Well, and that's what they try to make you think too. You know, it's like throughout the movie, they're like, they couldn't have done this, they couldn't have done this, and then you're kind of figuring it out from there. Well, we already know because the spaceship landed, but the people in the movie, they're trying to figure it out.
Exactly, and I mean, it's a war movie for the first two quarters of the movie, right? They're trying to kill a drug cartel or something, and Predator starts.
One of the most epic handshakes.
Oh my gosh! And as you will see, and which I mentioned before, I've got an homage in our intro. You haven't seen it yet, but I will have it loaded tonight. Yes, you son of a bitch. Let me put that on there. Let's show that for the young people.
What is it? Bill Duke's character says, "You give away our position one more time, I'm going to make you bleed
you real quiet." Oh, there it is, right there. Dylan. So that's my number 5 pick for sci-fi. Directed by John McTiernan, 1987, I believe. John McTiernan was at the absolute top of his game then. You had Die Hard, Predator, and then Hunt for Red October. Obviously, I remember seeing Predator as a young child, very scary. I remember Blaine's exposed chest. You know, you remember things as a child. And I was just remembering how disgusting that was. And good special effects. And speaking of, do you know who designed the Predator?
Stan Winston.
Stan Winston. But do you know who gave him the concept? Like, gave the drawing?
I do not know.
Jim Cameron.
Allegedly, I was about to say Cameron because it seems like a Cameron thing, but I didn't.
Supposedly, he was on a flight and he's like, "Hey, what are you working on?" He's like, "I'm working on this movie called Predator," and he kind of, I can't really figure out how he was going to look. And he's like, "Well, what about like this with the mandibles and stuff?" So supposedly, Cameron came up with that. Do you know who the original Predator was?
Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, he was told he'll never work in this industry again.
You know. Going a little off subject from that, but another Arnold sci-fi movie that I didn't put in my top 5, The Running Man.
Wow.
How incredible is that?
So that goes back to my question, and I've asked this before. What makes a good sci-fi movie? And Running Man, I think, is very poignant as far as social commentary in our day today goes. Game show. I mean, like Fear Factor goes almost just so disgusting over the top. Now they don't go to the point where they're killing people and like Running Man, but uh, definitely there's extremes, and you could see how it could go, especially if the government gets involved, right?
It this is something we had talked about before. Is why do we name the 5 movies that we name? Because they might not necessarily be the top 5 best movies in sci-fi, but to me, and I'm going to assume with you too, things that are like rewatchability.
Yes.
There's certain characters like Predator. You have so many great characters, um,
Yeah,
but
special effects is not everything, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I don't have Avatar in mind. I mean, like they're beautiful movies. I
yeah.
just I just don't care.
I don't care either.
And I haven't even seen part 2 and 3, and I've never rewatched the first one after seeing it.
And they make billions of dollars.
Everyone goes and see them except for us.
But here's the deal, Titanic made $1 billion too, and I didn't really care for that either.
Yeah, everybody. So I remember that, and I remember the theater, and there just being lines of people to go see Titanic. It was just incredible.
Well, I hate to be a little vulgar here, but I can tell you as a teenage man or teenage boy at the time, there was one reason why we all went. Is because there was nudity in a PG-13 movie, which I know sounds weird, but that was like a big thing the young guys were into. Oh, golly, there's a little nudity in this movie. But it was
And
PG-13.
if you look at 80s movies compared to like movies now, 80s movies, PG-13 movies, there was all kinds of nudity in those. The
Really?
PG-13 movies back then would be like rated R movies now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Got to give me a couple examples because I don't agree with this.
What is it? I'd have to look
Like,
into
like,
it.
Revenge of the Nerds, that would be like, there's a lot of nudity in that, but
If
it's
it's
rated R.
PG-13, I just don't know if it is or not. I can't remember.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to hold you to this, and I want
Look
some
at Jaws.
examples.
Jaws was PG-13, right?
No, was it?
It's not rated R, I don't think.
Let me check. Jaws. Wow. We didn't even think of Jaws as a horror movie. Oh, we hadn't done a horror list though, right?
Yeah, not yet.
It was rated PG. Wow.
Look how violent that movie is. Like,
Oh my God. That leg that falls down the water.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's 70s. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
And she's definitely naked at the beginning of that. She's skinny dipping.
Yeah.
But, Okay, that's now my number 5 for me.
Number 5 from Michael Collins here. Oh, I just gave my last name. What?
I'll blurb that out. Hey, They Live. Great movie.
They Live. We went from speaking of a movie that's socially relevant today, even to the point where you have the politician on screen is obviously an alien, and the politician,
interdimensional being.
yeah, and they're making people rich, and they have class systems, and they're telling you what to do, obey, consume, and
obey, consume, be obedient. All the Big Brother words. I mean,
which is
kind of like Big Brother, right? What was the movie Big Brother's kind of based off of?
1984.
1984, right? The book, yeah.
So, regardless of what political affiliation you're with, I mean, this movie is relevant to both, in my opinion.
Yeah, and we were discussing this earlier that this was one of those movies that would come on TBS at like 2 in the morning. It's like here comes They Live. That Smoking the Bandit and Surviving the Game, and it's not a fan. It's not as big as like some of the other Carpenter movies, but I think it holds up so well today.
Really holds up.
Piper's so good, and we got to tell the story again. Your excellent Piper story. So
we got to start with this. Is first off, if you've seen the movie, there's a good 10-minute fight scene in it between Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Right.
One of the most incredible fights. Like you've said before, you have seen this fight remade
Yeah.
and different things. Maybe the most
South
popular
Park.
one being
Yeah.
South Park.
Yeah. The homage.
Um,
Jimmy versus Jimmy.
so I met Roddy Piper at Dragon Con. This has to be, gosh, in the 2000s, and I'm talking to him, and he has this photo, and it's got John Carpenter, Keith David, and Roddy Piper, obviously in that scene where they're fighting, and Keith David and Roddy Piper look like just exhausted.
I mean, it's
So
like I mean, how long does it go? 20 minutes, 17 minutes.
the fight's probably about 10 minutes.
But it's just a street fight. You know,
It's a street fight.
there's no choreography to it whatsoever. There's no quick
Yeah.
cams. It's not the Born Identity. It's just like a
And it's not
bruiser
like they're
fight.
roundhouse kicking each other and like,
Right.
Bruce Lee stuff. These guys are just wrestle fighting.
Well, when he tries to hit Keith David in the nuts, it always cracks me up. He's like, "You dirty son of a bitch!"
So I met Piper, and in this photo that they're both exhausted, and Piper, he comes around the table, literally puts his arm around me, and he says, "Michael, see how I look in that photo right there?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "So during the fight, Keith David, when he would punch, and it's a fake punch, so they're not connecting, but he would keep his pinky out, and he kept cutting me around the eye or hitting me in the eye. So I told him, I'd rather you just punch me for real." So he says, punch me for real.
Which he's a wrestler, right? So he's used
He's
to
a wrestler.
being hit.
He's been hit, so he can take a hit.
Right. Or is it in the wrestling industry they call a bump?
So I can. It's easy for me to believe that because he was a wrestler and one of the greatest all time wrestlers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you probably did have him punch. And he's like, see how exhausted I am? He's like, Keith David has been beating the crap out of me for this whole time. That's why I'm exhausted. So for years,
I mean,
I
you told
believe
this
it.
story to me.
Hmm?
You told this story to like me, like, my God,
Yeah.
let me tell you my incredible
When
rowdy
it
story.
happened, like,
Right.
so years I believed it. I met Keith David, didn't think to ask him about it, so he signed the photo. Well, in 2024, John Carpenter went to Texas Frightmare in Dallas, right around the Dallas area.
Yeah.
So of course, I'd been going to Texas. This is my third year in a row going. I had to meet John Carpenter. I mean, how do you go to this and he's there and you don't meet him? So
Would
I
you
meet him.
say he's your favorite director of all time?
I would say he's my favorite director of all time.
Wow.
There's not a movie he's done that I don't like. I can even fathom Ghost of Mars.
What about
But
Vampire?
I like vampires.
I do too.
James
I like
Wood
it a
is
lot.
great in that.
Who?
James Wood. James Wood.
So is
Is it Woods or Wood?
So is the vampire guy, the bad guy from Karate Kid 3.
Thomas Ian Griffith.
Yeah, he's so good in that movie.
So, getting back to the story, I meet John Carpenter, and when I meet him, I put that photo up there, and Roddy Piper, and I start telling him the story. I tell him about how Piper said that he beat him up, blah blah blah. And as soon as I'm done talking, John Carpenter goes, "Rated R, bullshit." I look, and I'm starting to laugh because I'm not for sure. At that point, you're like, is he being for real or is he joking? And I go, are you telling me he lied to me? And Carpenter goes, bullshit. And I'm like, he's being for real. And Carpenter, he has this reputation for being grumpy. So it wasn't, and he wasn't like necessarily grumpy here. It's just I knew that he didn't mess around, like joke around like that. So
Right.
apparently he did not have. Apparently, Roddy Piper did not get fired.
Which is devastating to me. It really was. I'm going to call bullshit because I got to be honest with you. John Carpenter is kind of a grumpy old man sometimes. He just really get. He seems crumped up. So really feel like we need to ask Keith David and get a
That's who I
third
should really ask.
third opinion because he
Because
would
Keith David
remember
might have
this.
really been hitting them, and they just didn't tell John Carpenter.
Right, exactly, because of insurance revenue. I could see Carpenter's like they walk up to Carpenter and like, "Hey, I'm tired of this guy hitting me in the freaking eyeballs. So he's just going to hit me." He's like, "I didn't hear you say that. Yeah, y'all do whatever you do, you know." So, okay. Well, I think that's a great choice. So, to number 4 for me,
Number 4, we got
Interstellar.
Predator. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So, number 5 was Predator for me.
Mhm.
Number 5, They Live for You. My number 4 is going to be Interstellar.
Okay.
Um, you know, like I told you earlier, I really didn't like Interstellar when it came out in theaters. Me and my buddies went to one of these like dinner movie things, and the audio was excruciatingly loud. Um, I will say this though, the score really takes the movie to another level.
Hans
Um,
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. Um, the question that I would ask myself is it without Hans Zimmer score, is the movie in the top 5? I don't know. I don't think so. Um, it's a really cool flick. The AI droids, Tars and Case are really cool, as in they have really good personalities. Um, there's really cool science behind the movie. Um,
That's what
Gargantua.
Nolan's good at, though. He's really good at practical science.
Well, the Gargantua, which is the black hole entity or singularity, is supposedly straight up science. Like that's how it is. It's like a not a like a warp through space. It's like a hole in space. And you go to they go to that planet where. And speaking of Hans Zimmer, there's a score called Mountains. There's a song called Mountains on the soundtrack where every tick is supposedly a day. Tick, 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 tick. So every like hour on that planet is 7 years in real time. So they go back after like an hour, and it's been 7 years. That dude's been up there. The scientist guy's been up the ship for 7 years. What a whoa! He's been up there by himself for 7 years, and they were only on that planet for 1 hour. But it was a cool score because, like I said, it's a every tick was signifying one day on that in real time. Um,
Now, am I correct? Is Interstellar they're going to save? Because I'm sorry, I've seen Interstellar I think once, and I
yeah.
haven't seen it since. Is that what? Are they going to save Matt Damon?
Okay, that happens, but that
How
is
many
not
times
the
does that dude get
plot of the
saved?
movie. The plot of the movie is some environmental has happened on the Earth, a blight that is killing our crops, which is pretty amazing that we can go into interstellar space, but we can't save our crops biologically. You know what I'm saying? So there's some kind of blight that is, it's like a dust bowl, and it's supposedly um, like this is the last. They make a comment. This is the last crop of okra, and he's still doing corn. And they've in the movie they've abandoned science, like that humanity has. At least that's the story. They basically say, "Hey, look, we're not going to worry about science because people are starving." That NASA has to hide in the movie. They're hidden. Like, I guess the population wouldn't want to waste resources on NASA. Basically, the plot line is the Earth is toast. We got to go. So Matt Damon's character, they had 8 planets that they could possibly terraform or colonize. They sent 8 astronauts out. Matt Damon's character was one of the astronauts. And you got to see the movie. The plot is that he really didn't want to die, so he fakes a what do you call it, distress beacon or something like that. Um, but like I said, the score is the big draw. It's very like it's good sci-fi to me because, like I said, it's kind of got some social questions. It asks questions like kind of what they kind of like today, where you hear the moon landing didn't exist. In that movie, that theory is in school books. The moon landing did not exist. We did not go to the moon, which I don't know where you stand on this, but I believe we went to the moon. I mean, supposedly China has seen our landing sites. I mean, I just we went to the moon. But that's yeah, that's number 4 for me.
4.
Yeah.
My number 4.
T2.
Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. That still looks incredible.
Wow, what is that?
T2,
What
man.
is that? What is that? Give me, let me see the DVD again. What is that? Special edition?
It's a steelbook 4K.
Nice. How many copies of T2 do you own?
Well, right now I have 2. I have a collection with all the movies in it, but then I bought this one because it's 4K. The other one's in Blu-ray. But T2, man. First off, as a young man who was huge into heavy metal and hair metal, Guns N' Roses made a song for this, and it was the first song they had released in a while. So I was super stoked about that. They did the song "You Could Be Mine," and I'm pretty sure the music video came out before the movie. And it has maybe not scenes, but I think Arnold is in the video. So I was super stoked from there. We got a young kid. Edward Furlong never acted before. What's the thing? James Cameron pulled him off the street or whatever.
Yeah.
and he came in.
But Cameron was good about that. Newt was the same way. You know?
And he comes in, does a great job. We get to see Sarah Connor go from a victim in the first movie to let's just say what it is. She's a badass in this movie. I mean,
Yes,
when
she
flipped the bed over and she's like doing pull-ups. I mean, come on.
Yeah, she's jacked. She's almost bigger than Arnold.
And she has like that huge shotgun at the end, and she like cocks it with one arm because the other one he's put the thing through.
Oh, T-1000 stabbed her
Straight through it when he's trying to get her to call to John.
Yeah. So, oh my God, it's talking about you go growing up on this movie. I'm going to tell my story. You know, this movie when it came out was a humongous marketing machine. It wasn't. It was kind of when this big marketing machine was kind of getting going. I remember it was like toys and stuff. It's like, man, I got to see this movie. You know, Dad, I got to go see it. So he booked a hotel in Atlanta because in our small town theater, T2 wasn't playing, and we had this big ordeal where we spent the night and went to T2. And let me tell you something. I was 9 years old. That movie is pretty gory, pretty intense too. There's a lot of violence in it. I mean, that scene where freaking Xander, whatever his name is, you know, the actor, Xander Berkeley, I believe.
Who plays a Todd.
Todd, yeah, Todd, the poor stepdad. I swear, those two, that's the worst part of the movie. What happens to Todd and the stepmom. But yeah, Todd, you're not my dad, Todd. You know, so I don't know, man. That's a great movie, but you got a great. I want you to tell the great story about the smile.
Oh, so back in the day, I've always been a huge physical media collector.
Yes.
And
DVDs were
the
incredible.
DVD.
DVD was an incredible medium.
So there was a special edition where it has like a special edition where they've added deleted scenes into the movie. So there's a scene, and this is the first time I think I'd watched the special edition, and you were with me.
Yeah.
And we're watching the special edition.
Yeah.
And there's a scene.
Were they in the movie or was it deleted scenes?
No, I think they put this into the movie.
Okay.
So there's a scene where John Connor gets the T-800 to smile.
Well, I've got the scene pulled up right now, and he sees this guy talking on the phone, and he analyzes the dude's smile.
So then you get Arnold doing this creepy, weird smile.
It's played right now on the screen.
It is just hilarious. And me and Walls are watching that, and literally we kept rewinding it to watch it again and again and again. And any time one of my roommates would come in there, We'd be like, dude,
What
you
are
have to
y'all
watch it.
laughing? Yeah, we were like, it got to the point where we were showing people. You're right. That's a great scene. Why is it not in the movie?
I don't know. I don't know
But
why he
here's
would
the
have cut
thing,
that.
and I was telling you this earlier that it's a GIF on your phone. If you pull like Smile or Terminator, it's that Smile is somebody has uploaded it as a whoever it loads GIFs out there in the world. Um, but T2, and it's like you were talking about going back on like how sci-fi affects real world. My God, AI, Skynet. Good Lord,
And
it's
you were talking about seeing it as a kid and how we've talked about this before, but like how it affects even when you're the age you are now as you grow up. Like I saw Temple of Doom
yeah,
before I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark for the Indiana Jones franchise, and to this day, now I don't say it's a better movie than Raiders of the Lost Ark because it's not,
right.
but it's right there with Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite. Raiders of the Lost Ark is like right here, and Temple of Doom is like right here. I like it more than Part Three, and Part Three holds a dear place in my heart too because my dad took me to see it.
Yeah.
Um, but
So is T2 the greatest sequel all time?
it's hard to say. Aliens
Right.
probably the greatest, in my opinion.
I mean, but as far as dynamically different from the first, well, Aliens, you could say the same.
Yeah,
Um,
Aliens a horror movie. Aliens is an action movie.
Here's the big hook, though. Like, and we've discussed this before too. If you watch the movie, but if you saw the trailer, you knew Arnold was the good guy. Like I
Yeah,
said, they marketed he's the good guy. He's the good. The Terminator is the good guy now, and now there's a bigger, badder Terminator who's T1000. But if you watch the movie from the first time of the perspective of not knowing anything about T2, it is filmed as in you don't know who the Terminator is.
you don't know who the bad guy
The
is. You
T1000
assume
could
it's
easily,
Arnold.
yeah, you assume it's Arnold's the bad guy because he beats the hell out of those bikers.
Yeah,
You know, can't let take the man's will, son. The scene where T1000 beats the cop up, you don't see him kill him; he just punches him. And then the reveal is in the incredible mall sequence. I used to walk around in the mall and do that that Terminator music Brad Fiedel did, and he's got the shotgun in the box of roses, and the reveal to John Connor. You brought up earlier Sarah Connor reveal, but John Connor is the one I love where he's in back there in the back with that Pepsi guy. I don't know, that poor guy, that poor bastard.
poor guy's just in
Yeah.
the middle.
He's just, hey, you can't be back here. All of a sudden, Arnold whips out the shotgun and with it, pulls it down on John, and he's like, "Get down!" And then that's like, "Oh shit!" John drops, and then he shoots T1000 metal. Oh god, T1000 Beretta kills the poor Pepsi guy. That's what I'm gonna call him because there's a Pepsi machine right here. And what a reveal! Like if you didn't know this, well, I could just see myself being like, "Oh my god, the Terminator's the good guy." And
And that's what we wanted.
yes, that's probably what Cameron intended, but he also wanted to sell tickets. Okay, yeah. So T2, where are we at
My
number
number
wise?
4.
That's number 4.
Yeah,
So
you're number 3.
now I'm at number 3. So I cannot do this without a Star Trek movie. And I know what you're thinking. I know what everybody's thinking. Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan.
Right. Wrath of Khan. Great movie. Wrong. I'm going to go with Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country is my favorite. And I'll tell you why. It was my first exposure to Star Trek. I went to the theater with my classmates for a birthday party, I believe. And I'm like, I just remember saying, I've never seen anything like this. And I brought this up earlier, the Praxis effect is one of the most incredible beginnings of the movie of any movie that I've ever seen. Praxis blows up in a shock wave, spreads through space and hits Excelsior. You got Captain Sulu commanding. He's running. He's captain of Excelsior. It's like, oh my god! And this effect was so well done by ILM that Star Wars copied it. And I was trying to tell you earlier that the Death Star now has the Praxis effect, and a whole bunch of movies use the Praxis effect. I can't think of all of them, but the original cut of Star Wars, that wave didn't happen when the Death Star exploded. And I think they put it in there where Alderaan blows too. But that Praxis effect, what a cool, I think every explosion henceforth has that effect now. It's like how things blow up in space. But, it was a great send off for the original cast. Kirk is great. Spock is great. General Chang, you mentioned earlier,
Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war.
right. You've never heard Shakespeare until you've heard it in the original Klingon. It's a great line, It's like, because if you look at a Klingon, they look like William Shakespeare's. So I think the whole premise that Nicholas Meyer always had, who directed the movie, he also did Wrath of Khan, was that Shakespeare was a Klingon. At least that's what I took from that comment, right? So I don't know if anybody's ever discussed that before, but that's what I took it as. It's just a great send off for the original cast. Obviously, it started my love for Star Trek. TNG was at its prime. DS9 comes soon after that. I didn't really like the TOS stuff because it was very dated, but I appreciate it. But the TOS movies, Bones, McCoy, Spock, and Kirk are like everything I aspire in a relationship with somebody. Like everybody wants friends like that. You know what I mean? It's like Mike is my Bones. I guess I'm Kirk then, or either you could be Kirk and I could be Spock. It don't matter.
My actual favorite episode of Star Trek is a TOS episode. It's City on the Edge of Forever.
Really?
Yeah, that's my favorite episode of Star Trek. Any Star Trek.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not the DS9 episode with where the Romulans get
with
brought in
Miles
there?
O'Brien. That's a great episode too.
What happened to my media source?
Have you ever watched City on the Edge of Forever?
Yeah, it's depressing.
Yeah, very depressing.
It's depressing for sure.
It's a great basically it's a Kirk and Spock episode, even though Bones is in it as a he's insane because he's been drugged. But
well, the lady dies at the end, right? But she has to die.
She has to. If she doesn't, it changes.
Time changes. Yeah. Okay, well, the Praxis effect is on the screen right now for everybody to see. Oh no, it's coming now. But yeah, that's a great. So that's the original episode. That's your favorite.
That's my favorite.
I didn't even think I hate to be like this. I kind of wasn't it me that kind of got you into Star Trek?
Yeah. So for the longest amount of time, I was part of that culture that thought that people like Star Trek were big nerds and
coming from the guy with a Starfleet insignia on his shirt.
And we watched. I can still remember the first episode we watched together. It's like the name of the episode is like 1101110001.
Behind ours.
There's these episodes. And I didn't know that was the name of the episode, but there's these characters. Actually, I did know that was the name.
No, of the episode. Well, the name of the episode is exactly what you said. It was the number
1100,
which is binary code.
So when they show up, and I'm trying my best to make fun of Wallace as much as I can during this. And I was like, "What's the name of these people? The Binars?" And then it turns out that is their name.
They are the Binars, Mike. Jackass. But here's the thing: the first two episodes of TNG are pretty horrible.
Yeah, but that episode's not great. It was not a good introduction.
No, but you stuck with it, and now you're love everything Star Trek.
I've seen everything Star Trek. Yeah. Well, I haven't watched Prodigy. That's the only one I had watched.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. But
I felt like that was more for kids, and I hadn't gotten around.
So that was my number 3, right? I think it's my number 3,
yep,
right?
Number 3, Star Trek number 6.
Okay. Undiscovered
Number 3 for me.
Whoa!
Blade Runner.
Great choice.
So, this movie.
And shall I say that was my number 2?
That's right. You're number 2.
So you took my number 2 right out from under me, but I cannot argue with you.
First off, this movie, and we can both talk about it, but the first off, this movie has the best monologue, one of the best monologues of all time,
Yes.
with Tears in
Rutger
the
Hauer.
Rain,
Yep.
like Tears in the Rain, at the episode with Rutger Hauer's character.
It's so good.
It's,
It's
it's
so good. Yeah.
one of the
I
best
so
monologues.
speaking of, you mentioned before that the original thing I've ever done on this channel was a mashup of that
Yep.
speech and Babylon 5. So my first hint at editing, um, which I'm showing now.
And when you go to and it's a bunch of little things like the toy maker. The toy maker, like when they go to his apartment, first of all, I always thought, how is this guy living there? Because when they're trying to go in, it's like raining like inside the building. It seems like.
Yeah, because there's like a opening in the middle.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
elevator somehow works. I don't know how, but it's
Well,
like
and
there's just rainwater everywhere.
airship's always right there speaking in Chinese or whatever it is. It's like leave off world.
All his little toys are just amazing. Like there's scenes like when Rutger Hauer's character comes in and you see like the one like the general type thing, and it's like looking around like this.
Well, those are actors, right? They're like replicas.
But there are like toy type stuff that's in there. It's just amazing.
So the guy's a replicant maker, and so he makes basically his own replicants, for the Tyrell Corporation. And I guess he designed the Nexus 6, which is Roy Batty and is it Leroy? Is it Leroy?
Yeah, it's Roy Batty and
Chris.
And I don't know the name of the other guy, but like the one who they're asking the questions to.
Leroy.
Oh, Leroy, that's right.
Isn't it Leroy or Leonard?
Leroy might not. It might be too close to Roy, but
yeah, he's the one that fails the void comp test and shoots Holden. Yeah, so that's a movie. You brought up excellent director Ridley Scott. It's like did really good science fiction works.
So far, most of these guys we've named have done more than one good sci-fi movie.
Right.
John Carpenter, Chris Nolan, James Cameron,
Ridley Scott.
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but the guy directed Wrath of Khan.
Nicholas Meyer
directed that and Undiscovered.
He
directed, I think, Time After Time as well.
Which you love. I've never seen that. I need to see it.
Dude, that's a great movie. David Warner.
And I love David Warner. I need to see it. So
plays Jack the Ripper. That's really good.
So obviously you're a physical media guy. You've probably got the 6 versions of Blade Runner, like everybody does.
Got that on Blu-ray. But
which is your favorite version?
Final cut. I always like the final cut.
So that does not have the voiceover from Deckard, which I really enjoy. I think really adds to the film. So it goes back to that's my first exposure. I saw Blade Runner with the voiceover. So now I see it without it or hear it without it. I don't like it. It's kind of like, so you've seen Legend, right?
Yes.
Ridley Scott did it. It's like a fantasy movie. Tom Cruise is in it. Tim Curry's phenomenal as Darkness. There's 2 soundtracks. There's Tangerine Dream did a soundtrack, and there's a soundtrack done by who's Clark's favorite guy? Did Star Trek?
Jerry Goldsmith.
And for all intents and purposes, I should love the Jerry Goldsmith version better because it's fantasy sounding and everything. But I grew up with that Tangerine Dream version.
Dude, Tangerine Dream is incredible. Like any score they do is always good.
Loved by the Sun, great song. God, just the whole soundtrack.
There was a movie done before Silence of the Lambs called Manhunter, which is a Hannibal the Cannibal movie as well, even though he's only
directed by Michael Mann, right?
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Tangerine Dream does the score for that, and it's beautiful.
Well, who played Hannibal in that? It's Brian Cox.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Especially if you've seen Red Dragon, it's the same book.
So much better than Red Dragon to me.
Yeah.
Wow, so you took 2 for me.
Yeah. So we're going to my number two.
You're number 2.
Number two. All right. Here we go.
Wow. Get away from her,
Alien.
you bitch.
How cool is that? That's a great scene. This movie has so many things you can quote, so many great characters.
Let's
Um,
let's start with Ellen Ripley.
Ellen Ripley. I mean, if if you're a man of my age, even down to your age, if you like sci-fi and movies, it wasn't for most of us. Even though Star Wars had Princess Leia, most of us it was Ellen Ripley that really
Absolutely.
liked
Or
it,
Sarah Connor.
or Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
We had great female representation in these movies.
Well,
Even in Aliens, you had Jeanette Goldstein, who
yeah,
incredible in
Vasquez.
that as well.
Uh, Going back on Ellen Ripley is not just a Buffy who is a superhero or a Daisy Ridley who just knew how to fly the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars. Ellen Ripley was a trained pilot for the Nostromo. She was an industrial worker. She could rock her power loader. You know, the scene playing right now is that great scene where she's like, "Is there anything I can do around here? I feel like a fifth wheel." And Sergeant Apon's like, "I don't know. Is there anything you can do?" And she's like, "I could try that power loader. I'm Class C certified or whatever." And they start doing it. And it's just a great sequence, which also sets up the usage of the power loader later on in the movie. That's good screenwriting, right? You know,
Have you ever? I think I don't know if I've talked about this with you before, but you have these certain things where if you had done this in this situation, it's basically roll credits at the beginning of the first Alien movie. If they had listened to her and not let Dallas
yeah,
back on and
she was
Doug,
right.
she's like, don't let them on, don't let them on. I can't. I have to
They're
quarantine you,
quarantined.
and they don't listen to
Well,
her,
it's
and
not
all this.
they. Oh, time out. Not they.
Well, you got
What's his name? The android, or
yeah,
he's the
but
one that
Dallas was
opens the
also
door.
telling her.
Well, Dallas don't want to die. He's being a coward in that sequence. Not a real good captain. You know, Picard wouldn't put his ship in danger, but Dallas don't give a shit.
And
But
then
who
Lambert
ultimately
wanting back
opens the
on. She's like,
door?
no, let me
Yeah.
back on.
Lambert slaps the shit out of Ripley, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
she does.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Why they're but Ripley's right. And what? Oh my God, what's the android's name? Ian Holmes.
I cannot remember for the
Oh
life of me.
my God, Mike. Oh, jeez.
I just
Zach,
remember her
yeah.
telling
Well, you
telling
know,
him that he's doing nothing. Just keep doing what you've been doing. Nothing.
yeah, just keep doing what you've been doing. Nothing, exactly. Well, and that's Alien. But going back on the point, it's a great female character
Who's smart?
who keeps her female um, motherhood. The whole movie's about motherhood. Her finding Newt after she finds out her daughter is deceased after so many years, which is
Newt
in a
even calls
special
her
edition.
mommy at the
Yeah, at
end.
the end. And to the extent Michael Biehn character is kind of the dad figure, right? They're both they both are willing to give their lives to save Newt. The entire colony's been wiped out on LV 426, and these Marines professionals go in with another professional pilot with a slime bag Bert and try to save this little girl. But look at
Speaking
the
of
characters.
speaking of all these great characters, we got Michael Biehn as Hicks, Bill Paxton as Hudson.
Yep.
I'm Hudson. That's Hicks. Um,
What do you need, Private?
you got. I mean,
Speaking
so many.
of
You got
Corman,
Jeanette Goldstein.
Corman,
You got well, she's not Corman, but
Lieutenant Gorman,
you got Gorman in the movie. I forget what Mark. God, I forget his name.
Drake, we are
Drake.
leaving.
Uh, but so many great. And Hudson's obviously comic relief, and he does a perfect job of that.
Well, we met all these people in Houston
Yeah,
or Dallas. It was Houston.
Houston.
Houston. And I remember I've got this great screen cast photo where Hudson is not even in it much. So clearly, when this photo is probably pre-production or right at production, they didn't know what Hudson was going to be, the big fan fave, right? Or has he been
Well,
front and center?
and that's true. But it's funny. Remember when we went to the where they were talking, the panel,
Yeah,
and everybody up there had read for his role, and Bill Paxton's like,
yeah.
he's
Like you
just
said,
laughing. He's like, "What? What the hell?" He's like,
well,
"Everybody read for my role."
Hicks was supposed to be James Remar, and that due to personal
I think
issues, he
yeah,
couldn't be Hicks.
like
Um, but yeah, we met Sigourney Weaver. I mean, like you said, great cast, great. It's just everything about it's great. The
and
Xenomorphs, they introduced a queen, you know. Um,
you have
and
a good
then
Michael Bean story.
yes, yes, Michael Bean. When I was, a teenager, Aliens and Terminator, Michael Bean was my guy. I love him. I mean, I still do love him. Um, so when I went to Dragon Con, first time or second year I was there, I got Michael Bean's signature. He didn't even have any more Aliens photographs. It was a Terminator 2 still. And I was like, hey, man, can you eat this on there? And he's like, hey, dude, you know that's not this movie. And I was like, I know it's not this movie, man, but I love aliens, and you got aliens photo up here. So yeah, please eat this. So he starts talking about working where I work and stuff, and I'm just so like, wow, this is Michael Bean. I leave the signature there, which I probably at the time was like $30, which like $150 back then. Um, and I couldn't go the next day. This was back when I could only go to Dragon Con one day a week or one day during the con. So I get two buddies to go by there the next day and see if he still has my signature because I'm like, I got to get the signature. So one of the buddies got the original, and the second buddy was like, hey, I've already given this to somebody, the signature, but here's another one. So he gives me another one. It says, hey, Wall, you forgot your signature, dumbass. And, I knew right then I love Michael Biehn.
You know, speaking of which, I don't know if you can see it back there.
No, I
It's right
can't.
here. I think. Yeah, got
A
Ellen
Funko
Ripley
Pop.
on the loader.
Oh, is it
Funko
Ripley on the
Pop.
loader? Well, that's what we got playing right now. She's on the loader right now. Yeah. What a I mean, when that door opens up, and then the queen howls. My God.
That's
You
the
know,
most hilarious part is that the queen figured out how to use an elevator.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, horrifying. It's like, will this thing not die? Um, and obviously Cameron's been vocal about what they did with the characters afterwards, Alien 3, which I don't mind Alien 3, but wow. You give that sacrifice for Newton and you kill her off and kill Hicks off and kill Bishop off and everybody that sacrificed to get this little girl home safe dies. It's just horrible.
I actually have some pretty good Lance Hendrickson stories. I met him in 2022 at Texas Frightmare Weekend, and he was so nice. That I had taken my mom, and he was so nice to her. He was my mom. It was the first time she'd ever flown, so she's telling him about how it was the first time she ever flown, and he's like, "Oh, were you scared?" And she's like, "No, I loved it." And he's like, "That's women for you." And he's just telling this whole story. And then I got him to sign a Near Dark photo with him, Jeanette Goldstein, and Bill Paxton. And I'd gotten Bill Paxton to sign it when we were at Houston Comic Palooza.
Mm, mm,
And he sees that Bill signed it,
yeah.
and he just gets visibly upset. He's like, I love that dude. He's like, I loved him so much, and like you could tell that he
You could,
really it was hurting him to see
yeah.
this.
Well,
Um,
like I mentioned earlier, Bill Paxton, the only actor to die to an alien, a predator, and a Terminator.
and
Um,
he signed. I bought my mom a 8x10 to be signed by Lance Hendrickson as well, and she picked the one when after he'd been ripped in half,
mm,
and she's gotten the alien queen off the ship, and he goes, not bad for a human,
great
and
line.
that's what he
Well,
signed on it too.
so my Lance Hendrickson story is we're at Dragon Con. Yeah, it's late, probably 11 o'clock. Hard Rock Cafe, right downtown Atlanta. One of my buddies goes, "Oh my God, that's Lance Hendrickson standing there." And
It
I've had
might
a
have been
few.
me.
I think it was Corey,
Oh,
but you were there for sure.
I was there for sure.
And I go, "Oh my God!" And I'd had a few cocktails, and I walk up to him and I was like, "Dude, Lance." I freaking love you, dude. Can I get a photo?" I get a photo with him. He's got a number tattooed on his arm. And I said, "Well, what's that number on your arm?" He goes, "Come by the booth tomorrow and ask me, and I'll tell you." So I come by the booth. He's like, "It's my ASBN number for my book I wrote, Not Bad for a Human," which I have in the house. And I bought me a copy. And yeah, it was an awesome experience. He's very nice and sweet, like most of these stars are. So,
You
yeah.
know what the most hilarious thing is? You have that story, and I have a Lance Hendrickson Lance Hendrickson story, kind of the same way.
Oh,
We went to Mad Monster Party in 2023, and we're standing outside, me and my mom, and we're near the smoking area. Like that, you can't smoke inside the hotel, so they have an outside smoking area. So
was he
I see
smoking out
this.
there?
So I see this guy walk up, and we have a line. Like me and my mom are at the front of the line, and there's a bunch of people behind us, and there's a handler, for the
Right.
the convention there. So he comes up and he asks the handler. He's like, he asks where the smoking area is because he wants to go smoke like he was when you saw him. And then he kind of looks at us and right there, and he's like, whoa, this is a really long line. What are you guys here for? And I was like, I'm here to meet you. And he just starts laughing, and he comes over and like shakes my hand and like passes me on the back.
Cool. I
And he
mean,
goes over
just
there and smokes.
one of those 80s actors that, he's in Terminator.
The
I just,
funniest thing is, have you ever seen Child's Play?
with,
Chucky.
yeah, yeah,
So the little kid from that, Alex Vincent, while
yeah.
we were standing out there, I swear to God, he smoked like 15 cigarettes. Like every 2 minutes, he'd come out there and smoke a cigarette. That dude is a smoker.
Chucky is, or the kid that Chucky tried to
The
kill.
kid that was in Child's Play.
God. Oh my
I
God.
know that's way off our topic here, so I guess we should get to your
Number
number
one.
one.
Number one. Gattaca. You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I did not.
You didn't expect it earlier, but now you know it. Yeah, Gattaca. As far as sci-fi movies go, I mean, it checks all the boxes for me. It's got a great idea of the future, which I mean, it's not exactly what I want the future to be, but it's a possibility that could happen where you're not judged on the color of your skin or your religion or your accomplishments. You're judged by your
Political
blood.
affiliation.
Yeah, political affiliation. Your blood determines everything, where you are in status of society. Um, Vincent Anton, um, played by Ethan Hawke, who just he come out recently was like, this movie is so underappreciated. He said as far as his catalog goes, he's very proud of it. I agree. I think it's got if you look at it, they got space that is commercialized, which is SpaceX. NASA's not around anymore like they were. Now it's SpaceX doing things. That's what Gattaca is. It's like a space organization. Um, he's born with a defect. Like they scan his blood immediately. Vincent says he's got a 99% chance of dying of a heart problem. His dad, during his birth, says, "So what do you want the name to be?" Anton. He's like, "No, Vincent Anton. Vincent Anton." He don't even want him to have his name because of his possibility he might die of a heart problem. And it's such a heartbreaking scene. But the whole point of the movie, just like Rocky and all these great movies where somebody is underappreciated and the underdog, Vincent goes through life. He has some help. Like the scene that I'm showing right now is the pee guy that checks the pee, right? Before he gets on the thing. If he knows he's got a prosthetic that he's faking it, and without Lamar, who's played by Xander Berkeley in the scene, which what a great I think it's Xander Berkeley's best work. He's one of those actors that's in a million things and people probably don't know his name, but I love the guy. But he's like, "You're gonna miss your flight, Vincent," and it's such a great scene. Um, just like his brother, never thought he was gonna amount to anything. The sequence where they swim, and his brother's like, Vincent, we got to go back. And the music's so beautiful. And he's like, we got to go back. And he's like, we can't go back. We're the other side's closer. How are you doing this, Vincent? He's like, I'll tell you how I did it, Anton. I never saved any for the swim back. What a great line to me. You know, Vincent didn't give up.
All out.
Never gave up. It's not, you're right, all or nothing. And then you got Jude Law, who's on the screen now. He had it all. His blood, he could run through a wall. He could, if he couldn't run anymore, but he'd been hit by a car and now he's crippled. Kills himself at the end of the movie. It's very tragic. Tragic. It's tragic, man. And it makes you think, you know, like Uma Thurman's great in it. You know, does she date Vincent because he's, you know, there's a scene where women are checking saliva that they kiss to see what the genetic makeup of their possible boyfriend is. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, you know, it's just really cool ideas. Um, yeah, sci-fi at its best.
It is a great movie, and it's a one you don't think of a
Yeah,
lot. You know,
not a lot of special effects.
yeah.
Um, good acting. You know, came out what maybe '96. You know, but
Uma
look,
Thurman,
very
all time
poignant in
favorite.
our time, like like genetic, all the genetic altering we're doing, and you know, cloning and stuff we'll probably be doing soon. I don't know. I think it's very poignant. But that's my number one.
So before I do my number one,
Yeah.
first off, to everyone out there, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, to
Please
Sci-Frantic.
comment.
Please comment. Give us your top five. What's your top five favorite sci-fi movies?
Yeah.
I'd like to know. I love top five lists.
Yeah, we're
So
gonna do a lot of these top 5 things. I like them.
I like to know what people like. I'm going to give a couple of honorable mentions
Yeah.
that I didn't put on my list. Obviously, the Star Trek movies. It was hard to name just one. Wrath of Khan probably would be my favorite, but I love First Contact
Yeah.
because they're all so good. It's just hard to
Right. Yeah.
put there. A couple others. RoboCop.
Wow.
RoboCop. I
Social
didn't put it in my top
commentary.
five.
How about that?
God, I'd
Paul
buy that for
Verhoeven
$1.
gets no love from Sci-Frantic.
The Fifth Element.
Oh,
Another
Luc
great sci-fi
Besson,
movie.
right?
Luke Besson, Galaxy Quest.
Lilo
Great
Dallas
comedy.
Multipass.
Galaxy Quest is a great comedy Star Trek movie.
Right. I tell the
Children of
story
Men.
often where Frakes showed it to Picard, or the actor Jonathan Frakes showed it to Patrick Stewart, was like, we should have made this movie. We should have made this movie. It's about us. You know,
There's so many great things in that one. I
Children
mean,
of
like
Men.
everyone's
Wow,
perfect.
that's a depressing movie.
Children of Men, a very depressing movie, but a great sci-fi movie. One of the greatest one-shot movies. There at the end
Wow.
when he's going through the building and like they just follow him. Even like there's like a blood splatter and it splatters onto the camera. They leave
Yeah.
it and they just keep going.
They do that a couple of times in that movie, like the scene where they're in the little car is a one shot, you know, where
Yeah, you get Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore gets shot. But yeah, the definitely, is it one shot? Who knows with the trickery that they have these days? It's like 1917, you know, there's definitely ways to cut it, but boy, it's something else.
So those are some of the great ones we left off our top five list. So that's insane. That shows you how great sci-fi is.
Yeah, Transformers the movie.
Transformers, the animated movie, Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
Gosh, so many
Inception. I like Inception.
Gosh.
I mean, the dreams.
Some horror sci-fi, The Thing, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I would consider both of those horror, but they have
Big
sci-fi.
Trouble in Little China.
Again, I think Big Trouble in Little China is fantasy. I wouldn't really consider it sci-fi.
Chinese girls don't come with green eyes.
Henry Swanson's the name.
Excitement's my game. It's not deductible, is it?
In the mail.
Check is in the mail.
But what I had to go with for number one.
Yep.
For my list.
Yep. There it is. There it is. I pretty much called this one earlier for Mike's number one. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, you said that it would be on my list, so
I
you were
think I
right.
said it would be number 1 on your list.
Um, 2001. Speak of a movie that still resonates today. This movie is from 1968. Still resonates today. Why?
Unbelievable.
You have
68.
AI go wild in this one. How?
HAL 2000.
I think it's How 9000.
HAL 9000.
But
I'm sorry. A couple of
How
generations
goes
before.
wild.
Which
So,
HAL is it? Is it 9 or
how
2?
it doesn't say on the back.
Well,
I
I'm
don't know.
okay.
I'm not good with names, but
So somebody comment
How
down below.
basically, yeah, if you know what it is, because on the back here it just says How. And I was just gonna say How, but Walls had to, throw a number in. But How goes wild. Like basically like what most of the movie is about evolution. You have the beginning of the movie with the pre-Neanderthal apes when the monolith shows up, and they basically learn how to use tools because of the monolith. Hal learns how to basically become self-aware, kind of
Why
like
is
Skynet.
HAL turning against the humans? Is he trying to protect the monolith or what's he trying to do? What is the end
He's
game?
trying. He thinks they're going to shut him down,
Okay, so he's
protecting himself.
self-preservation. He's not trying to
Um,
protect a mission of any kind?
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so basically, you have Hal, who is evolved, and that's the movie is kind of cut into different areas, but that's the biggest part of the movie is um, them trying to shut down Hal.
Special effects are incredible. I'm watching it now. It's like
Special
they did
effects are
this in
amazing.
68.
This movie is from 1968, and I could tell you the first time I think Walls and I watched it. I think we saw it for the first time together. Was on a little 13-inch box screen TV,
Yeah.
which this movie is not made to see on. This movie is made for the big screen. This movie is made for 4K televisions with 4K Blu-ray
It's
players.
made for the big screen, really.
It is made for that. That's what
Well,
this movie is big.
to your credit, like I said, I was very unkind to this movie when I saw it the first time because it is long.
It is a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. But I was looking at a sequence here a second ago where she catches a pin floating in
Yeah,
space.
dude, that scene back then was just incredible. The fact that it's just floating, the pin
So,
floating.
do you know how they did that?
I have no idea how did they
They
did that.
taped it. It's taped.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's like a piece of glass right there, kind of like with a snake in Indiana Jones, right? And it was taped on the glass, and she goes, "How brilliant! So simple, yet it's like magic, man. Once you know the prestige is just like wow, that's so simple."
Well,
But
we talked earlier about the moon landing. Always been this like rumor that Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing.
yeah, lunar landing,
Yep.
Apollo
So
landings. Yep. I don't
uh,
believe it, but it's a nice conspiracy theory, like flat Earth. But
so
well, hey, they're re-releasing this by the way, 70 millimeter. It looks like
dude, that would be incredible to see in 70 millimeter.
that's what it said. Let's see. Oh, it's HAL 9000.
That's what I said.
No, you did not. You
Yeah,
said
and that's the L
8,000.
9000.
I'll have to relook at the video.
You said 2000,
I did
but
say 2,000. Yeah,
um,
I think it's a great choice. I mean, there would not be Star Wars. There would be not Star Trek: The Motion Picture. As far as films goes, this movie pioneered everything. As far as
people. I
science,
mean, people use it even to this date. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. They use the bright color astronaut suits just like they do in that one.
you look at spaceships special effects back then, like Roy Rogers or Buck Rogers or whatever it is. Roy Rogers is a cowboy, but it's like, you know what I mean? And this is like how it really is, you know? It's like the ships are slow, like hanging in space. Like the depressurization scene where Dave has to get back on board is it Jupiter 2? What's the name of the ship? It's Jupiter. So maybe that's hey, speaking of Lost in Space, we didn't mention that, did we?
Yeah, I would, if I did a top 50, I don't know if I'd name Lost in Space.
Gary Oldman's pretty good in it.
Okay. I love Gary Oldman.
Oh, either way, I think that's a great list, dude. Great list.
I think we had we kind of filled the check marks here on everything. Those are two great lists, and we only shared one movie, Blade Runner. So Blade Runner made both of our lists.
Honestly, it really surprised me, but I knew Undiscovered Country was going to be an offshoot. Um, let me see. Let me see. What was the your top? Obviously, Aliens is Alien. Yeah,
I can give you our
RoboCop.
top five list right here.
Yeah.
So your top five list: number 5 was Predator.
Yep.
Number 4 was Interstellar.
Yep.
Number 3 was Star Trek Six: The Undiscovered Country.
Yep.
Number 2 was Blade Runner, and number
Yep.
1 was Gattaca.
Yep. And what was yours?
Mine was number 5 was They Live.
God,
Number
that's a
4
great
was
choice.
Terminator 2.
Yep.
Number 3 was Blade Runner. Number 2 was Aliens. And number 1 was 2001: A Space Odyssey.
So the outlier for my list, I would say, is Gattaca that people probably are not going to agree with, and I think the one that you have is probably They Live that people won't have in their top five.
Well,
But
yours
I think
basically,
Aliens, Terminator 2, 2001, I think those are going to be in a lot of people's top five.
you threw in Interstellar and Gattaca trying to make yourself seem smart. And I threw,
Yeah,
I threw
you're
in
right. You
2001
put
to
in
make myself
2000
sound smart.
Kubrick movie, yeah. I am smart.
Me smart.
Me smart. Oh, I'm a Neanderthal.
Here's the monolith.
Here's my monolith. I got tools.
I'm gonna become a space baby.
Yeah. Well, it's like I told you earlier, that movie's for drug dealers or drug users. Like, people just got high and watched
Kind of
2001
like
and just
when they
spaced
went to see
out.
Laser Floyd.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
Actually, neither of us are old enough to have done that. But if we had Bill on here today, I'm sure he went and saw Laser Floyd.
Bill's never doesn't do drugs.
Well, I didn't say he did drugs. He was probably, singing a song or writing a poem.
Yeah, Bill needs to do a 2001 poem. Call it a monolith or something. Okay, man. Well, I think that was a great list. So I guess I'm gonna end the cast because Claire
Okay,
said
so
I ended abruptly, huh?
no.
We're gonna end
Guys,
it.
just to let y'all know, do the top 5 list below. Let us know. Let us know yours, or let us know a movie that you saw that affected your childhood. Something, like Terminator 2 for Walls, or Undiscovered
At the
Country for
very
Walls.
least, our friends need to comment so we know y'all are watching.
Did you watch this far? Did you get this far into the video? Did you get
Yeah.
to number 1?
Did you get to number one? Did you fast forward to number one?
Did you just fast forward? Yeah. Did you? And now you're hearing
And
us ask you
and
to put your top
honestly,
5.
Bill, be kind on the comments. We'll take feedback, but we don't really want a lot of feedback right now because we're still trying to figure it out.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff my Bible not even recording, so
God, it's not recording this time.
we'll just move on. But
But
okay,
guys,
I'm going to end the
we have been
stream,
Sci-Frantic. I am Mike.
and I'm the Wallman. Hey, and hey, we got the unboxing tomorrow, maybe.
Hopefully,
Depending on Jackson's situation. And we got Days of the Dead Con coming up, and we are going to review Starfleet Academy. First
at least
episode.
the first 2 episodes. We're going
At
to see
least the
how it
first
goes.
episode. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm ending the stream. Mike, you make it stay on for a second, and we'll see y'all later.